Welcome YouTube family, welcome to the Stocks with Josh show. I'm going to be giving you guys my weekend predictions for this market in this upcoming week. Remember, Monday the markets are going to be closed to observe President's Day. And even though it's going to be a short week, there's going to be money making opportunities in the 4 days that we've got left. Then we've got some very important earnings ahead of us. Tuesday, Walmart and Home Depot are reporting. Now those are going to be your value plays and those are becoming interesting. I'm going to cover Walmart today. Wednesday, we have the EV company Lucid Group, which can be a very fast mover. And then Thursday, Alibaba, perhaps one of my favorite stocks. Lucid and Alibaba I'm going to cover in the next couple days, but I want you to make sure that you catch my review of Alibaba, ticker BABA. There's going to be a lot of money to be made with trading Alibaba this week. I'm working hard to share these video gems with you guys, so hit the like and the subscribe so you don't miss the daily stock and crypto predictions and insights that I'm giving. Stay till the end. I'm going to reveal what crypto I just loaded up on. This should be a great video. Let's get into it. Okay, I want to start off by recapping the markets. I want to give you the important highlights and predictions for the S&P 500. It's been on an upward trend right now for 111 days, from the October low of around 3,500 to the recent high of 4,200. This overall move was a 20% move up. Now, this has become a euphoric rally, and it was done in the face of unsettling, stubborn, and persistent inflation. At this elevated S&P level, markets, in my opinion, are priced for perfection. And if anything goes wrong or anything is unexpected, there is a far greater potential to the downside. In previous videos, I shared with you that the smart money was taking profits and rotating into perceived value stocks or stocks with low volatility. Those would be the plays that I gave you last week. Companies like Coca-Cola, ticker KO, and Kraft Heinz, ticker KHC. I specifically cited that Tesla would be cooling off because they're an example of high volatility. Coca-Cola and Kraft Heinz are both up $1 from that video. They're slow movers and that's what the market wants. But Tesla has fallen $7. And at one point it had been down $14 since I had made those comments. Now, I think if you track those three stocks in the coming days, you're going to see that the value plays will steadily rise while big tech will continue to fall. Here is what everybody needs to understand about the markets and the Fed. Because the job report showed so much strength and resilience, the Fed has heightened confidence to raise rates and to hold them longer. The October rally that got supercharged in January, that was the early buyers who were anticipating that pause, pivot, or ease that the Fed really just doesn't have to give right now. Fed Powell has more to gain by holding the course and taming inflation in the face of the strong job environment, rather than wait for it to weaken before taking action. So here's the big picture moving into next week. Now, I've already given you guys the roadmap in past videos. When the markets were touching the stratosphere at 4,200, I said for that last move to be validated and to continue, we needed to make and hold a higher low. I also said that for the markets to continue to climb, we had to establish a higher low at 4,000. I said that we would get a confirmation of the back test move to 4,000 if we broke back below the critical level of 4,100 and we closed under 4,100 on the weekly candlestick chart. That's exactly what's happened. I also pointed out that the 4,000 range somewhat coincides with the 50-day moving average, which is a natural place for the markets to come back to and bounce off of if they intend to go higher. So that we are all on the same page. I also said that we could dip as low as 39.50, but that's it, no lower. Anything lower wouldn't be a higher low. Now I want to show you guys a standard fib retracement chart. I'm going to give it to you guys on the weekly chart of the S&P 500 using the ticker symbol SPX. I want to start off by pointing out that the markets have been clearly rejected at the top of the green 0.5 fib level for the last 3 weeks, and each candlestick has a higher wick than tail, which simply means that every time the price has climbed on the daily chart, it's been pushed back stronger with stronger selling pressure in the broader weekly. So what does this tell me? It's a very clear chart saying that we're definitely in a downward trend currently and have been for the last 2.5 weeks. Ever since we almost hit 4,200, even though we are in a downward trend, the micro trend is currently still favoring bullishness, while the macro trend is still favoring bearishness. Going into next week, we're clearly on track to backtest 4,000. So keep this in mind. If we get a pop, ignore it. The opportunity is to the downside. Until we hit that 4,000, then perhaps you may want to jump into your favorite momentum play, because we should close out that day with a strong move up. Right now, the markets seem easy and predictable. Give me the feedback in the comments and let me know if you guys need more explanation on any of these charts. Okay, before we go on to earnings this upcoming week, I wanted to briefly review the retail sales report that we got for January. Retail sales, they shot up 3% in January, blowing past Wall Street's estimates and proving that the economy is still strong, but more importantly, that inflation is still very much a concern. One of the standout data points was that food and drink soared 25% year over year. Now that's absolutely an insane jump. Your Coca-Cola or your favorite drink was 25% more expensive in January. This is another reason why I'm bullish on the ticker symbol KO, Coca-Cola, moving forward. This report is very important for us to keep an eye on because it's showing us that the economy is still overheating, and the current manipulated inflation number that we've gotten does not accurately sound the inflation alarm that we should be sounding. Plus, even though annual inflation ticked down 1% for January, monthly inflation actually suffered a 0.5% increase. Also, we have to keep our eye on energy, which seems to have leveled off over the last couple weeks, but it's beginning to climb higher now. When oil was on decline, it presented the idea that global deflation may have been putting downward pressure on energy. But if it begins to tick back up, moving towards summer, it's only going to serve to put refocused pressure on the overall inflation problem. This brings us to what the Fed will do. Let me give you guys a solid warning prediction. If we continue to get the 25-point rate hikes moving forward, I think the market will not get startled. But if he throws a 50 basis point rate hike into the mix, which a lot of the other state feds have been calling for, these markets are going to crash. Mark my words, a 50-point rate hike would be very unsettling and has not been priced in. Quick station break for the Moomoo investment app. There is a unique offer for the Aussie audience. In promotion of their earnings seasons, Moomoo is providing up to 110 AU cash reward for opening and funding an account. Click the top link in the description of the video to get this limited time offer. And for the US audience, there is a promotion to get up to 15 free stock. You can screenshot the exact offer for the details. You can get your better trade tools, get free stock, start investing today, and you can use the earnings feature on the app. In my opinion, it is the easiest to use earnings calendar. It is user intuitive and visually easy to follow. It helps me stay on top of my swing trading, money making, earning events for each quarter. Okay, let's get into earnings. My coverage of earnings last week was, in my opinion, completely on point. I called Palantir's pop over $9, and I think there's good money to be made playing earnings this week. First earnings that we've got that I'm watching is going to be Walmart, which reports Tuesday. Now I'm going to call this a small pop play. Walmart should report better than expected earnings. Now we know that they are potentially a defensive play for the market. Walmart stock is not a big mover. It's got low volatility, and that's what the smart money wants right now. They're similar to Coca-Cola and Kraft Heinz in that way. The move will not be dramatic. Even if they don't beat, if there was an initial drop, you would see a reversal. Now, I want you guys to check out the chart. I'm looking at the weekly chart, which means that each candlestick represents 1 week of price action. It's going to be your open price, your week low, your week high price, and your week close price. The last time I talked about Walmart, I showed that the 137 range was a critical support for Walmart, which we are above. Walmart ended last week pushing up against a critical line of resistance at $146.78. It made a low in May of 2022 to $117. It's been climbing ever since. It's been outperforming other stocks and showing great relative strength. Since that 2022 low, it has been steadily climbing. And now if this earnings comes out good, I believe that we could see a pop up to $150 and even as high as $153. Now my long-term price prediction for Walmart is $160, which I think we are very likely to touch in 2023. Key areas of support to consider when taking a position would be $144. That's support. You could put your stop loss at $143.60. But let's talk about the fundamental case behind Walmart. Does Walmart do well during recessions? Yes, Walmart has long outperformed during recessions. Founder Sam Walton built the company on the promise of everyday low prices and consumers have flocked to its store for its value prices on your basics, your food, your clothes, and your electronics. Now, I just shared that some food costs were up 25%. That sure seems like a signal to me that it's time to start shopping at Walmart. Motley Fool did this piece recently outlining Walmart as a recession-proof investment. Matter of fact, they called it the ultimate recession-proof stock, where they gave 3 key Walmart strengths in recent days. They said Walmart's comparable sales jumped 8.2%. Its strength is in its grocery business, which gives it a competitive advantage. You know everybody's got to get that cheap milk and bread in a crisis. And then number 3, the retailer is actually gaining market share. Believe it or not, Walmart is still growing. Let me read this part to you. Beyond its reputation for low prices, there's another reason why Walmart is moving Wall Street at a time when rivals like Amazon and Target are flopping. Note, I'm actually short Target. The retailer dominates the grocery business. It's by far the #1 seller of groceries in the US, especially when Sam's Club is factored in, and groceries make up a majority of sales at Walmart's US stores, bringing in more than $200 billion in annual revenue. When the recession hits and the government starts raising those link card benefits, Walmart sales are only going to go up. So to keep it simple, I'm bullish on Walmart. It's one of my long-term value stock covered call portfolio stocks, you can call it, in my recession-proof portfolio for 2023. Okay, what's going on in the world of crypto? I'm going to keep this short and sweet, and I'm going to let you know what crypto I'm in for a swing right now. I bought a fair amount of it. It is actually a crypto that I got asked a lot about in the comments of my last video. And that is the high flyer Cardano. That's right, ADA. I dropped a big bag on ADA for a swing trade yesterday. I bought below 40 cents. I have my stop loss set 2 cents lower than my entry, and I intend to swing it to 60 cents. Now, I've had a ton of experience trading Cardano, and I'm very familiar with its movements. You could have gotten Cardano recently at the very low price of around 23 cents, and it's had a pretty significant run up, all the way up 80% since mid-December. Now, it's pushing up against a significant resistance line at 42 cents, and that's why it appeals to me. Because I believe that when it breaks through, we should see some strong, surprising movement up quickly to the 60-cent target. Now, I'm going to be an early seller around 57 cents. So I'm not looking to get every last penny. Right now, the ADA holders, they're in absolute despair because these guys have been buying ADA. They've been buying the ADA dip since it was at $2. When that happens, they lose perspective on when to load up. Now, I also understand that ADA moves traditionally behind Bitcoin and ETH. It has traditionally been late to the party. It's a slow mover. But when it does move, it has pretty strong movements. And I'm expecting a move up, and I've loaded up. Now, I have long-term hold ADA, which is held in cold storage. This is not that. This is a short-term swing trade on ADA in a separate account. Since my last Bitcoin video, I think crypto has been holding decently strong. We don't have to be at the 25K range perfectly for Bitcoin to remain bullish. If we hold the 24 and even as high as the mid-23 range, I think we're still moving up from here. This is for educational purposes. It is not financial advice. Someone recently said in a comment that I told everybody to sell their Solana and then it ran up. To which I replied, no. I simply told you what I was doing with my money and my crypto. And in regard to Solana and Matic, I still have much more peace about having my money in Matic right now. If you want to have your money in Solana, you do that. If you're confident with them, load up. This channel is not to tell you guys what to do with your money. It's to let you know what I'm doing with mine and why. And my only expectation is that you find the information to be helpful to your own due diligence, your own technical analysis, and your own research. Now, I'm excited about moving into this next week for the money-making opportunities that I see ahead. I don't live for money, but I sure have found plenty of reasons and needs to spend it. So I think there's opportunity coming up, so get yourself positioned to grow wealth this week. Say hi in the comments. Let me know what you're bullish or bearish on. As always, I hope your weekend has been restful. Peace and blessings, friends. See you in the next video.